Waji. I'm Madi.
And I'm Waji.
And tonight we have the co-founder of Miami's Artistic Vibes, Quills Rodriguez.
That would be me.
Alright, so I guess the first obvious question is, how did you get the name Quills?
Oh man. It's not as cool as one would think. Most people, because I started off with poetry, think that I got quills from writing. No. I actually got the name from, I was hanging out with a friend of mine who was a drummer in a band, and we were all hanging out backstage and getting drunk and doing stupid things. I was like 19. And I was sitting in the corner like in my own bubble, and I was just really quiet and not really talking to anybody, and one of his friends says, "Oh, you're really tranquil, so I'm gonna call you Quills." Which is like the opposite of me. If you know me, I'm not tranquil at all. And at that day, I looked at him and I was like, "That's okay, whatever. You can call me Quills, whatever. Call me what you want." And then I didn't really stick to the name until I really started to pursue my poetry. And then I was like, "Okay, no, I'm gonna bring back Quills,
You're gonna bring it back.
but I'm gonna use it for the writing purposes of it." And then that was it. And then I brought that on, and it kind of stuck. Like it was like me forcing a nickname, because my whole entire life I had wanted a nickname and I never had it. Besides, for my real name is Stephanie. It was Step on Me. It was always my name. That's not a nickname.
No, it's not.
Or they would call me Steffi, and I'm not a Steffi.
No.
I mean, that's too girly for me. So I was just, every time we would do a show, I would say my name is Quills, my name is Quills, my name is Quills, until sooner or later the artist that had only met me there started to call me that, and then now it's snowballed that people don't even know my real name.
That's awesome. And how long have you, well now we do.
Yeah, well, not so.
You might
failed
get
myself.
You might get some stuff on me.
Don't.
And how long
Quill
have you
gets
been known as Quills?
Quills now, 5-6 years. 5-6 years it's been Q. Well, now it's gone from Quills to Q. Everybody just calls me Q. And it's easier that way. And that also kind of lets me differentiate when I met you in my life. You know, if some people still call me Stephanie, and I'll know that that's like high school era, you know. And anybody who calls me Q, it's my artist life and my AV life and all of that. So kind of helps me know who to avoid.
Yes.
So call me Q.
There you go. You brought something with you today.
I did.
Tell us about it.
I brought my favorite toy. Yay! Which is a Rick Grimes Funko Pop vinyl. It was actually the very first pop vinyl that I purchased, and started my horribly crazy obsession and addiction to where I now own 85
Wow.
It's a slippery slope.
It is so fast. It is so fast. It's just like, I mean, my local Hot Topics knows me by name.
Oh, man.
They know what days I go to Hot Topics, usually paydays. And sometimes they'll save shipping boxes to open with me if it's a vinyl.
Wow, that's a hookup.
It is a hookup. I usually get a lot of
It's like us and
hookups
Barnes
there.
and Nobles.
Yeah, the person almost.
You see, so this kind of, I brought him because of that, because it started my my first official like toy collection. I've always bought toys, but it was never like a full collection or anything. It was the one thing I liked, or this or that. Funkos is the one that I bought the entire Harry Potter series the day they came out. All of them. Just all in one swoop.
Completed.
I bought them, and as soon as I bought them, I was like, oh, that was like not cool, because now there's no excitement. I just bought them all, and now they're on my shelf, and that's it.
The hunt.
I took out the hunt. There was no hunt, and now I'm hunting for other Dumbledores. This is my Harry Potter Gryffindor is the only one I'm missing.
Oh.
But I got the one with the snitch. So yeah, so I have him on my desk. He helps me diet. I run an Instagram called Rick Grimes Says.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And it's him in different forms and different pictures telling me to eat my salad, or to exercise, or to drink water. You know, just little tips from Rick Grimes.
That's amazing.
That's a fun way of using Instagram.
Yes.
You know, it started when we started this diet. It was just like playful, and I would only send it to them, like the people that were in the competition.
What was
with
it?
us.
The Hunger Games?
The Hunger Games.
Oh yeah.
Well, then we called it the Hangry Games, because we were not happy people.
No.
So it started with me sending it to them, like, hey, Rick Grimes Says, and then they were like, you know, you should really start an Instagram. You'd be surprised how many people would find that funny.
Yeah.
And so I did, and then I haven't done it in a little bit because I've been not good with my
Oh,
diet.
you definitely need. Right?
You're right.
He's overdue.
I'm gonna make him not face me right now. He's disappointed.
Judging you.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
Oh yes.
So you are the co-founder of Artistic Vibes.
Correct. Along with my wife and partner in everything, Vanessa Thompson, who runs the other half of AV, and we started that 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
Tell us a little more about Artistic Vibes.
Artistic Vibes is, oh my god, it's like, I like to call it a creative collective. It's a lot of us that are involved. It's not just me and Vanessa, an artist and everything, a drummer, a musician, a poet, a writer, a singer, a digital graphics designer, and kind of it was just something we started to try to bring the love of live entertainment back to Miami. We were always in the world of arts and going to plays and things like that. We kind of got tired of nobody going and Miami being about the drinking and this and that. So we decided to start our first event, which was called Art Attack. And we would promote drink specials and food specials, not the art at first. And the point was to attack them with art. They came for what they thought Miami was about, and then we would hit them with poets and musicians and comedians. And that kind of started to just snowball. And from one minute to the next, we were packing out the places that we were using because we were only doing that show once a month. And then our 5-year goal was to have our own space. It happened in 2.
Yes.
And then, yeah, which was just pretty crazy, just the way that things snowballed after that. But that was really what it is. And then that's still our mission to this day is taking care of our artists so that they don't feel the need to move. But at the same time, making sure that there's an audience that they don't have a reason to move. Because that's really what happens. It's Miami's so nichey for certain things that you really can't grow as much as you would want because the desire from the audience isn't there. You know, you're not going to get a room that's always going to have 300 plus people to see you perform. In New York and LA, you will. So we've ended up kind of being, Miami has ended up kind of being like the Austin and the Chicago of the arts, which is just always underneath LA and New York. And so our goal is to make Miami that. And, you know, a lot of people have always told us, oh, you should move, you would do better here. You would do much better here. That's why we're here. We're here because we need to do better here.
Speaking of other places, Frenchie, is she
Yes.
still running Vibes and
Yes,
Friends?
which is crazy. Yes, she's totally still running.
I'm going next year, by the way.
Oh,
so
pass
I'm
by.
definitely gonna go. Yeah.
Pass by, yeah. An artist who was here from France came down, saw our space, became one of us, and was just always there. And came down one more time to hang out a little bit longer with us to the point that she couldn't come back for a year because she had used up all her time and she was allowed to leave the country. And so she played guitar. She's like an all-around artist too. She plays guitar, she plays the drums. She's in a band up there now, and she started Artistic Vibes Lyon in France, which is so crazy to feel like we're international.
I love it.
I remember when she messaged us and she was like, "Oh, can I use the logo? Can I do this?" And I was like, "Girl, run with it." The more that our name is in other places, and that's kind of another what we're supposed to do. And I'm glad that you're doing this now for your city that didn't have these things, and that was part of what she loved about us was we wanted it to be where there wasn't any of that stuff. And so she did that in France. She went to a city that they always have to drive out to bigger cities to do it, and so she did it in her homegrown town.
I love it.
It's such a great idea. It's fantastic.
You're growing.
Growing without even being trained, which is
International.
fantastic. I know, we always joke, I was like, can you imagine us going to Lyon and walking into our, technically like our own thing, and nobody knowing us, but like knowing us at the same time, like we don't know you, but you know us, and it's actually really cool, really cool.
And that's the harder thing, but it's worth it in the end.
I think so.
Yeah,
You
growing
know?
the scene here instead of talking up and taking it
Trust me,
easy.
I would love to live somewhere else, you know? I've lived in Miami all my life, but it's not about that. You know, it's always for the greater good of the scene, you know, and sometimes that's sacrificing yourself and being that martyr for your art, even as frustrating as it is. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I love Miami. I do. I love it. I moved away for a little while, and I didn't move far. I moved to Orlando. I'm 305 till I died. That's just, I grew up in Hialeah. Like, that's just who I am. Of course, it would be easier if we went to New York. Of course, it would be easier even if we went to Fort Lauderdale. But that just wasn't in the cards for us. We wanted it here. That's what we felt we needed. Our town, our home.
Well, we love it.
Good.
I love it.
Glad.
And what kind of events do you guys do at?
We do comedy shows, poetry nights, music nights, theater productions, both adults and children. We teach drama programs, writing classes, comedy classes. We rent the space out for different events and decor it and theme it. Our comedy shows are different than what Miami's used to. She works great with geeks and nerds. Basically because it's just themed. We theme our comedy shows.
That baby shower you had yesterday?
Oh, that Nightmare Before Christmas baby shower.
Is she due in December?
Yeah, December
That's fine.
7th.
That's
December
awesome.
7th. Yeah, that was actually my sister-in-law. That's the one that we did it
Beautiful.
for. So yeah, we theme our comedy shows. We do it once a month. And we allow and we actually encourage our audience members to cosplay and dress up or pick something for the theme. We all dress up and go crazy, decorating the whole space, and we play games with the audience. The comedians battle each other.
Yes.
We don't have an intermission. We have a halftime. No drink minimum. Bring your own stuff. Like, we're very free. It's really about the art and the comedy at that moment.
Which
that
event
night.
is that one?
That's Laugh Attack.
Laugh Attack. And
Laugh
when does that
Attack.
take place?
For this last one of the year will be on Friday the 13th, and the theme is Nightmare Before Christmas.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so.
So it's not a monthly event?
It is. It's
Oh,
every
it is,
second
okay.
Friday of the month.
Every second.
Every second Friday. We don't do it in December. We go black in December.
Okay.
Our season kicks back up in January, and it'll be the second Friday in January.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Out of all your events, which one's the most popular?
Popular. Ooh, probably popular vibes. Our open mic night, because it's the one that's been the longest running. It's weekly, so it's it's always in people's mouths, it's always in people's ears. So that's probably the most popular one. We've been doing that now for 2 years, so that's fun. Well, almost no, 3 years. We just celebrated 3
Yeah,
years.
3.
3 years. So that's probably our most popular one. Laugh Attack is getting there. Laugh Attack is getting to that point, and then we're pushing all the other ones to try to get to that level of popularity.
Okay. Your most memorable performance at Vibes?
Mine? Oh man. My most. Okay, it wasn't a performance per se. Me and Xander used to do this thing hosting the show. It's called Battle of the Hosts, and we would do different competitions. And one of them was lip syncing competition, kind of like the Jimmy Fallon show.
Yeah.
Well, I decided it's hard. Guys can do lip syncing, and all they have to do is pick a really girly song, and they
Yeah.
win.
And they
That's
win.
just
Yes.
how it works.
Yes.
And I'm not girly, so I can pick a guy's song, and it doesn't really change anything for me. So I had to up the ante, and I did Wrecking Ball.
Oh my god.
And I hid behind the stage, and I bought a huge bouncy ball from Walmart, and I had Kenny cue the music to when it says I came in like a wrecking ball. And so I came onto the stage rolling on a ball,
My
and then just was really provocative with it. As provocative as I could be is really what it was. And I threw the ball at people, and I started it, and I won. I won, and then Xander had to wear a dress because that was the wager. So that was probably my most memorable one. Was that battle? That was fun.
Good. Tell us about your youth program.
Starts with the kids. Growing the scene in Miami,
Yes.
it starts with the kids, whether they're going to be future artists, and if they're not artists, they're future
Supporters.
audience members.
Yes, supporters.
So it
Patrons.
starts with them, exactly. It starts with them. So that's kind of, we started that at the same time when we opened. It was basically an all-inclusive theater program, in the sense that the kids it's really for kids and by kids. They get to know everything. We work with them like if they were adults. We sit down with them, teach them what it's like to analyze the script, build a character. They get their hands to say what the stage is going to look like. I let them draw their ideas, and they bring it to me, and then I kind of just make it happen, with what they're doing. I teach them how to build sets without having to worry about wood and crazy construction.
Yeah.
We'll build it out of foam and cardboard and let their imagination come to life, really. And we do that, and they put on a performance after 2 months. We've done a lot of different productions, so we have a lot of different classes, but that was really what it was. It was to start the kids to appreciate art, and it being removed out of schools is killer.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
killer.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's just really hard to expect future audience members and understanding art when you take it away from them at such a young age. How are they ever going to appreciate that kind of a thing? And that's kind of where we end up later on when there's nobody who likes the arts. It starts like that. So we really learned to just start with the kids, and we call them, we call it our home for growing artists. And we've had open mics for them so that they get that understanding of having to get the light and knowing when their time is up and what it's like to perform in front of a different kind of audience that isn't just your parents. And that's actually been really fun, and it's taught us a lot.
And that's called?
It's the AV Kids program. It's Artistic Vibes Kids Miami. You can look it up at AVK Miami, and we're pretty much everywhere. Their kids are just about to start their production of The Grinch Stole Christmas, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Cute.
So that'll be fun. We just completed a Halloween show called Ghost Hunt, so that's been growing, and our summer program sells out all the time. We do a different play every 2 weeks
Oh,
with the
that's
kids.
awesome.
Yeah, we did Harry Potter this last summer. We've done Alice in Wonderland, some classics, some new shows. We've let them write shows. We've let them direct shows.
Cool.
I teach a behind the scenes class. So for those who are too shy for the stage, they do our lights, they do our sound. So they know how to run
So there's
everything.
like a different, yeah.
They really, so another theater programs, and it's not to knock them, they just give them the script and do what you need to do on stage. We would rather let them see from beginning to end what it takes to put on the show, and that way they can kind of decide where they want to go, and we've ended up with kids who have gone to magnet school programs that have made it through their auditions, and we've had other kids who have decided to take a set class because that's what they really like, or designing costumes.
Yeah.
So it's taught us a lot of patience, really understanding different kids. We work a lot with autistic children. It's amazing what you can do with kids, and it always first time that happened to us, we had a child who came into our class. She was autistic, and she was always bummed because she was never going to get the role she wanted in school because she's going to be outshined, so we gave her a lead.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she killed it. And now she is somebody who is always at our space and always rocking it and made it into a magnet program for theater.
That's beautiful.
So, it's little things like that. We can close tomorrow, and those small little moments, it was all worth it. It was all worth it for
really
that.
cool.
Yeah, really cool
Aw.
stuff. Oh, I got chills with that one.
And it's private.
It is private. It is private. So, but you guys can find out information for us. We have private lessons you can do. We have performance lessons we can do. I can teach them how to build. You don't have to sign up for all that. They can come to one class and I'll teach them how to do things. So there's a little bit of everything for kids in that aspect.
I like that because usually so much of the focus in these programs is the performance. And then you totally annihilate a group of kids that, again, you're missing. How are they going to know that they like the arts when
If
they're
they don't try.
completely cut out from it?
Exactly.
But if you give them backstage, you give them set design, you give them makeup, you give them costume,
Yes.
you give them light, sound. I was stage crew in high school and I loved it.
That's the part I like.
Yeah.
I'm not an actor. That's not my thing. And for a while, I was really shy. I hated to host my own shows. I know you cannot probably even fathom that.
No, I can't.
But in all honesty, when we started Artistic Vibes and we started those art tech shows, I didn't host. I stayed in the back. Like,
Who was doing
just,
it?
Danny.
Danny Miami.
Danny Miami was doing it, or I would come in at the end. Oh, thank you guys for being here, like the network,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
corporate
yeah.
person,
Yeah.
and that was it. So with kids, and that we do makeup classes with them. They've all learned how to do from zombie to Maleficent to that kind of stuff, and it's really just teaching them this is everything that is in the arts. You don't have to pick just one. You can do it all, or you don't have to act to be in theater.
Yeah.
You can be a stage manager. I have some kids who can manage crap out of people. And that's what they like to do. We're giving them a little leader badge, and they're like, "I'm on it. Let's do it."
And
So-
they develop the appreciation that
Exactly.
we need. Yeah.
Exactly. And for me, it really comes down to both. It comes down to the parents understanding the arts and the kids understanding the arts and coming in together in like this really beautiful blossoming of what can happen. A lot of parents focus on the production. They want to see
Yes.
what their kid is doing.
They want to see their kid on stage. They
Exactly.
want to see their picture.
They want to see them shine, and that's great.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not about what they did on stage. It was the building they did for those months. Maybe that day they had stage fright, and they didn't do their performance how they really could. But you don't know the work they put in before that, or how they brought that character to life that wasn't in the pages. So all of that stuff is really important, and that's kind of what we're trying to teach all of them. And a lot of these kids are going to magnet programs now. A lot of them we've given them what they want to do when they grow up, and
That's
that's
wonderful.
great. That's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I appreciate you so much more.
That's good to know.
I do.
You mentioned you do open mic for the kids.
Yes.
Okay, you do, and you mentioned that open mic is actually one of your most popular events.
Different. The two
For the
totally
adult
different.
ones, right?
yeah.
So how does an
definitely.
open mic work?
Mhm.
I guess, and why is it important to have an open mic in Miami? It's like a good one.
I think that a good open mic, I think the purpose of an open mic is to allow people who regret never trying something. Because, how many times do we grow up and go, man, I wonder what it would have been like to play an instrument, or people used to tell me I was funny and I never really tried it. And that's kind of what an open mic does. For the veterans, it helps you work out on the material. You're trying something new in front of an audience that's there to see, all ranges of experience, so you get to try something out new. But there's so many people who have popped their stage cherry at Vibes, it's ridiculous. It really is. And then that kind of teaches them two things. One, it's not as easy as you thought it was when you jumped up on that stage, because some of those people who go up, it's like, oh, I can tell jokes, I can be funny. Okay, go. Here's your 5 minutes. Do it.
It's intimidating.
It is. It's extremely intimidating, but they don't think so. You know, a lot of people, and this happens to us even with the kids program, they think, I can just go up there and wing it and just do it. And it's not that simple. And then you have those who realize it and then work on it. And like, there's one performer, and I always talk about him like this, Panda, who's a big AV fan. He's been with us since we opened. He started off, and I'll never forget the first time he sang. He couldn't get his breathing right, couldn't remember his lyrics, he was reading off of his pad, he was going off of a YouTube instrumental track, all of these things. Like but it was his first time. So we just encouraged him, hey, next time do this, let go of the tablet, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, and you'll see. And now he's the lead singer of a band who's been performing in festivals for the last 4 or 5 months. You know, and that's what it's about. And I think that a good open mic continues to grow the artists that come here, because if he would have come to another open mic and maybe didn't care about the artist, nobody would have told him what to fix. He would have maybe still been singing with a backtrack from YouTube.
Yeah.
It's about encouragement and really being honest with them. Hey, you know, that joke doesn't really work that way, you know, because you think about this, you think about that. So I think that that's what's important. And for kids, it's also important for them to be okay with expressing themselves. You know, these kids don't get that opportunity at school to just sing Frozen in front of an audience because they want to sing Let It Go.
Yeah.
They don't really get that. So that was that opportunity. And some of them, and really where we started it was because we realized that a lot of these kids did a lot of other things. They were coming to us after piano class. They were coming to us after this class. And we were like, well, how do we still let them show us what they're doing outside of here? Let's do an open mic. And now you can play that piano here and show other people what you're doing. Do a dance, do a this, do that. And that worked out. That worked out really well too.
Do you have any, do you have any tips for, I want to say the audience of an open mic? Because I think that's actually kind of really important. You know, you may go to one, you've never been to one, like,
be patient. Be patient. Not everybody that's going up there is a Class A artist who's been doing this for 10 years. I think that that's the most important thing when you go to open mic. Understand that you are seeing the range of everything. From the person who's writing poetry for the very, very, very first time, to the person who's telling the first joke, and maybe the only joke they know, to a veteran who's trying new stuff. I think that you have to go in there almost like understanding that this is a process. You're watching an artist's process all the way through, from the newbies to the veterans. You're watching them try to figure out. And I think that it's a balance, you know? It's just knowing that you're there to support them. You're gonna laugh at some and some you're not. And I always like to tell my audience, it's like watching TV. If you don't like it, don't worry. In 5 minutes, the show will change. And you'll have something else that you're going to look at. So just hold on tight. And don't be offended by what people say. I always start that show off with that too. We're against censoring our artists. Not a lot of open mics are like that. Some will tell you, keep it clean, keep it this, keep it that. I'm not for that. I think that you have to figure that out for yourself. You need to figure out when you went too far. And I think that if I start giving you those limitations, you'll never figure that out until it's too late. So I always tell my audience, don't be offended. Just let it rub off, because for what might be offensive for you is really funny to that dark person in the back that's laughing about it. So that would be my advice, just patience and understanding that you're there and that's not a booked show. These aren't artists that you're like, oh my god, did they pay them to do this performance? No, they came, they signed up, and this is what they're trying to do, and they're at the end of the day just trying to be artists, just trying to express themselves, and we just gave them the stage to do it. So that would be my advice.
That's good. You started off as a poet.
Yes, I did.
And then you worked your way into comedy.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
You know, that happened on accident. I think what ended up happening was, as a host, you have to be able to be the balance between a bad act and a good act. So I started to just be naturally funny on stage because I had to figure out the way of not bashing the really bad act that had just happened. And yet at the same time bringing the energy back from the audience for the next one. And that's always that night drains me because I'm constantly replenishing whatever energy was either just taken out or removed or whatnot. It's very exhausting for me. But that's really how it started. It was just telling little jokes and being witty with how I was responding to people. And figuring out stories that I would just tell, not because I wanted to be a comic, but because something that comedian said before me, or that poet said, or that musician said, would trigger a story, and I would tell it, and then everybody would laugh, and I was like, okay, I'll keep that one in my pocket. The next time there's a low in energy, I'll say that story again. And I started to slowly build almost like a routine, like a comics routine. Like I had my 10 minutes without even realizing it. And then Alex Maurizio, who's a local comic, asked me to host Kill Your Idol. And he said, but you're going to need to do 5 minutes at the beginning. And I was like, no, I'm not a comic. That's not what I do. I'll host for you. And he was like, no, you're going to do 5 minutes. I'm not going to pick another host. You're doing it. I like the way you host. I like the way you do this, but you're doing 5 minutes of comedy. I was like, oh man, I was so nervous. And I went to that show and I did 5 minutes. And it wasn't great. It wasn't great because I was nervous and it wasn't me. But he really pushed me. And I thank him for that a few times. And if you're watching, thank you again. Because it really did just open me up. It opened me up to be able to be different, be me, to still tell my stories and be, I still don't consider myself 100% of a comic. I don't go around, and I don't write all the time.
But you're so funny.
You know what?
You're naturally funny.
That's why I don't like to say that I'm a comic, because I wish that I could, and I will always tell other comics, you gotta sit down and write material. That's not me. It's just not me. I've never sat down and this is a really fun joke. No, it's just like, hey, that was a really funny story. How can I tell a story funny? And it's really figuring out. And then I took a comedy class with Eric Silva, and he kind of taught me, he had to work with me backwards. Because most people go in and they're used to their set, and he's teaching them how to deal with the audience and talk with them and do crowd work. And with me, it was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
He was taking me away from crowd work and talking to people and making me just talk about me. So that kind of helped me too, in being able to kind of like balance it out. And then I've kind of continued. See, I can only write poetry when I'm miserable.
Oh my goodness.
Like a lot of, most of the population.
I really can't. And right now, I'm not really I hate things in my life, but I'm not a miserable person.
You're not emotionally there.
I'm not emotionally there. Like, I used to write about heartache and how I hated the world and my parents and how the world was sucked. And now I'm like, well, that's just like the world. And I'm happy in my relationship, and stresses. I'm not gonna talk about money all the time in my poetry. And I'm not one to write about rainbows and butterflies. So that's been really hard for me to go back to writing.
So you're like, let's just give the comedy a chance.
And it's easier for me right now to laugh at pain than it is to express my pain.
Yeah.
And especially in my own spot, because that's another thing that started to happen. It's okay if you see me as a comic, but when I'm up on stage and I'm reading my poetry, those are real feelings of
You're
mine.
exposed.
And I'm exposed to people who are there, and then they think that they know me, and then there's like that the veil is gone, and that becomes a really weird situation when people think that they know how I feel or what I'm saying in my words and my poetry. So I also kind of retreated back on that. I still do it. I did it at Reverb for Party for Pink. Me and Narciso are supposed to write a piece together, which is a really rough piece. He's got me trying to work on. So there's still things I still write in my journal and trying to figure out other things, but I'm also so overwhelmed that I'm afraid of tapping into that, because I know that once I go in there, then I'm gone. Then I'm gonna be gone for a while. So I know that it's around the corner. My goal for 2016 is to write some new pieces and perform them, but I'm not ready to dive into the dark cave just yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep laughing for now.
That is, yes, definitely. What was the first time you went on stage to perform? Was it poem or was it comedy?
Poetry.
Really?
It was poetry, and I was reading out of my journal, and I had my face in the book, and I refused to look at the audience, and I ran off the stage shortly thereafter. It was the first time, and I think back now, what I read was nowhere near the kind of writer that I am, but it was the only thing that I was ready to do. And I'm a much better writer than the first piece I ever read, that's for sure. And I was super nervous. A poet had dropped. It wasn't even because I wanted to perform. It was a poet had dropped. I put myself there. I had to fill in the spot, and I was like, okay, I guess it's just gonna have to be me. And I went up there with my journal, and I was like this, and I just read it, and I'm like, okay, no, thank you. And I ran off. And then I got a little bit more comfortable, and then I went to speak. And I saw Narciso perform one night, and I went home, and I just started writing and memorizing. So that goes.
Yeah, he has something about him where he just pulls it out of people.
He does. And the first time I ever had a conversation with Narciso, it was like we were kindred spirits, and I had known him in another life deeply. And it was just one of those things, and without even really pushing me, he did. And then I did my first poem where I more spoken word as than anything else, and
The
I did it on
Battalion.
stage. Yep.
My favorite.
That was my first one that I memorized. The first one that I wrote fresh, and I had
My
written
favorite.
new.
You wrote it with the idea of performing it in mind.
No,
Oh no.
I just wrote it, and it has never happened to me again. I barely edited that poem. I just wrote it. It was in the heat of a moment, in a very angry moment that I was in the middle of working, and something really just upset me and brought me down, and I pushed everything aside and I just wrote. And when I read it, I was like, wow, that was pretty good. Okay, and then I tried it on stage. I was like, okay, let me memorize it. And then I did it on stage, and it hit. And that was kind of it for me. And then I wrote a few more like that, and kind of just kept performing them. And that's the only ones I've done now. That's where I'm at right now, you know, until I can write next year. My goal is next year. I will have more poems next year. I promise.
2016, Quills the Poet returns.
That's right. Quills the Poet. It'll be there.
The
It'll
return.
Be there.
You were a paralegal.
Yes,
In
I
your former
was.
life.
In my
In your
former
former
life.
life.
I did so many things. I feel like I should be like 85 right now.
So many things.
So many things. Yeah, I was a paralegal. That was my dream. Growing up, I remember second grade career day, walking around with a briefcase and glasses popped out, like thinking that's what I was gonna be.
Paralegal.
I had always wanted to be an attorney. I
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
be a criminal defense attorney.
Oh.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to defend the bad guys. It's not all of them are bad. And then I went to school. I was gonna double major in criminal law and in psychology. Did all this stuff. Kind of in there. I didn't know if I wanted to do that anymore. I had always had a passion for kids, and I'm the only girl in my family, so I was always a babysitter and all of that. And I was just really good with kids. And I'll forget, I had a professor, and he asked me, what would you do if you had to defend a person who had abused children? And I said, well, I wouldn't do it. Like, I was just really fast, and he was like, no, you have to. And I was like, I don't have to do anything.
Oh,
I'm not doing that. And he was like, no, you do, unless you're going to come out of law school with your own firm. And I was like, reality check. Maybe this isn't for me. And then I really started to toy with the idea, got a job in paralegal. I was like, well, let me be in the belly of the beast. Let me see
It's a great idea.
if I like what it is that's happening. And I started working for an attorney, and for a little bit I liked it. I liked reading statutes and figuring out and investigating, and then I started to work in the worst time, which was I worked for a law office that dealt with property, like commercial and residential properties. And I had to start serving evictions, and I started to have to get phone calls from people crying that their husband had just died and sending me things, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit there and look at a lady who really had brought me every medical record that she could possibly bring me to show me that her husband had been in jail, in a hospital, dying, and that she couldn't afford it, and realizing that this letter that I just sent you, the attorney just charged you $400 for it. And all I did was fill in the blanks of the template. That took me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm charging you more money when you can't pay me the $300 you owed me. Like, it was just so reversed. And then I was the bad one. The attorney weren't dealing with the phone calls. I was.
You
You
were.
know, they weren't seeing the clients. I was. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them, and I understand everything that they're telling me. And I can't. I have to choose. My loyalty is to my law firm.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I woke up and I was just like, this is not for me.
This is where the poems come from.
Yeah, like, you know what? In all honesty, yes, some
Yeah.
of them for real, because it was just really, it was bittersweet. It was sweet to realize that wasn't for me, even if it wasn't the law that I had originally gone for. Because of course I wanted to deal with the criminal stuff, but I also wanted to litigate. And I had learned very fast that I was barely ever going to litigate. Half of these things were always going to be settled by the court, so the fun was going to be gone. And then
Yeah, it's like what, 10% of cases get litigated.
10%. That's it. 10%. If that.
If
If
that.
that. And sometimes you'll start a litigation in the middle of it, they'll settle. You know, to get out. So I just realized very fast that wasn't for me. So I went out guns blazing. I'm not going to mention the law firm, but I deleted a lot of their files and told people not to worry about it, and that they can pay wherever they need to pay.
Oh my gosh.
And then I left.
You're like superhero.
Yeah, I literally did what I
Super
could.
fun.
I did what I could. I mean, some people were pains in the butts and they deserved what was happening to them, but not as many as I had on my desk. You know,
Wow.
not as many as I had on my desk, and I couldn't be money hungry like that. Like I was too soft. I was too soft to be an attorney. I was too soft to be a paralegal.
I told you.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I thought I could.
Yeah. Where do you oh wait, actually, different question. you don't just perform at Vibes.
No.
You perform other
Yeah.
places in it.
Yeah.
So, what's your general impression of the art scene down here?
It's good and it's grown. Let me start there. It has grown a lot. When we first started AV, there was maybe 10 rooms you can go to at all, in like period. Whether it was monthly or weekly or whatnot, there was maybe 10 rooms. Like looking for an open mic was like looking for a needle in a haystack here.
Yeah.
They were either at the beach or, you know, and they were mostly music. Because no, people don't mind listening to music while they're talking at the bar. You know what I mean? You don't have to look at the performer to
Yeah.
enjoy it. So trying to find something for poetry was horrible, which is what I was originally looking for. And so in the sense, it's grown. I can tell you 10 rooms to go to tonight. You can go tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I can tell you a room on Sunday. I can tell you all of that. So I think in that aspect, it's grown. I think it's also, to some extent, because of its overpopulation, it's also saturated. So you won't get, while there's 10 rooms tonight, not all of them are full because there's 10 rooms tonight.
Yeah.
So now you're fighting against where everybody's pulling for the same audience. And but it's also good because that means that people are into it and that means that people are trying to grow this scene. So that in that aspect, I think it's really good. I think more people are getting exposed to it because now there is more rooms. So you have people who maybe would have never gone to an open mic going to an open mic because they've heard about it so often. The only issue I have with the scene is conflict and competition within the scene. Both artists and venue owners or room runners and stuff like that. Because we're big believers in AV. I'll promote anybody and everybody. I let our artists bring their cards and their flyers to their shows. I let them say whatever they want on the stage. Because at the end of the day, in order for you to grow a scene, you have to be on the same plane towards the same goal. We're all on the same path, to the same goal. We all want this community to grow. We want these artists to grow. And then sometimes I just think that there's a drama, especially for the artists. Sometimes the artists are ridiculous.
Dramatic.
That's
why they're artists.
That's where the art comes from.
I know, but it's like I feel like I'm in high school sometimes. Like I'm like I am not a babysitter. I cannot handle all of this. It's just really funny to watch that dramatics happen. Like I feel like I'm back in high school, little clips everywhere. But in the overall, I think it's good. I think we're getting to a point where we can say there's a scene. Because sometimes when we would say that there was a scene, it was really the underground scene that we all knew about. Now it's more people are being like outsiders, you know, at least in our own space and another space, I'm seeing older generations coming out to shows that normally they would have never gone out to. They're hearing about it, and it's also because right now in our scene, most of the places that you can go to visit are more mom and pop, hole in the wall places. We don't have a Miami Improv. We don't have this huge theater. You know, it's all smaller black box theaters and stuff like that, which is giving a different appreciation for the arts and slowly growing an audience.
A local audience, because before, like you said, Miami Improv. I mean, it was more for tourists almost. It was in the middle of Coco Walk. Like it was.
Right.
It wasn't really.
It was good.
It was but it was not. You know.
You went for a night. You didn't go.
Exactly.
The thing was that I think that at the beginning you would go to an event like Miami Improv because you either knew the comedian who was going to be there, or because you wanted a crazy night out. And you were doing it
on the radio
station. Or they were giving them away. Your cell phone was going crazy.
Yes, they called you how many times?
and just to make sure that they filled the room. And now I think you're right. I think now it's people are seeking these events. They're seeking to see these things, and it's not just because it's a big name or because it's a famous place. It's because I kind of heard that this is a cool spot to be at, where you're going to see somebody you're never going to see before. Or
I saw it on Facebook on my friend's thing.
Exactly, or I heard that we're going here. So I think that in that aspect, I think in all aspects it's growing. I think every now and then you're going to see that the scene resets itself.
Right.
It's almost like the minute it reaches this climax, it starts to dwindle down again, and then it comes back up. But I will say that every time it goes down, it goes higher the next time, and then it drops less than it did beforehand. Until we kind of just continue the steam going. But that's how I see the scenes right now. Some of these rooms are killer, and you'll never hear about them unless you go out there and you're looking for them. I couldn't tell you how many hole-in-the-wall places I've walked into, and the talent on the stage is just there's none other than that. And especially here in Miami, people really need to just start seeking other those things. You'd be surprised how fun it is.
Yeah, it is. It's a good time.
It is a good time. It is a good time.
Writing poetry.
Yes.
Doing comedy.
Yes.
You have events at Vibes.
Yes.
You also have a podcast.
Yes,
Because
I
they
do.
were gonna know.
I have this really bad knack that when I see a blank space on my calendar, I don't say, "Ooh, gonna relax today." I'm like, I gotta fill it. Something has to happen that day. Yes.
Maddie, there's nothing on Tuesday.
And we were just in a group chat today, and I asked, I was like, "Oh, I really want to do this one day," and they're like, "Oh, we should do it on Sunday because we don't have anything to do on Sunday." And I was like, "Well, now we do." It's kind of but yes, we do have we have a podcast. It's recorded at AB. It's called the Talking Geek podcast, where we talk geeky things, comic books, D&D, every spectrum of nerddom. We do talk Magic the Gathering. Talk Dungeons and Dragons. And we also do movie reviews or like ratings, like what's in the box and stuff like that. So that's been really fun. And
It turned a year old, right?
that just turned a year this last month in October. It just turned a year old. So we've been doing good. It's been hard to be consistent with it because there's so many other things going on. So this year our goal is to be a lot more consistent with it. Have a lot more fun with it. The Walking Dead came back, so my favorite segment of the podcast is back. I get to talk about The Walking Dead for a good 45 minutes. And it is an edited podcast, so it comes out once a week. You'll hear all kinds of things, movie reviews, comic reviews, really weird nonsense. We're just weird people, and there's too many of us on the podcast, so I'll talk at one time, or we try to. It's mayhem, beautiful mayhem, is how I like to call it.
It's really fun. It's really fun if you're into anything geeky. You will find somebody there talking about it.
And even if one episode isn't for you, I try to do a really good job with the description, more or less what it is that we're talking about. Our last one was all space and time stuff, Back to the Future, so I'm bringing back to the
but you
future
guys talked about Supergirl.
Yeah.
You talked about the Gregory Maguire book.
Yes.
You talked about all these.
Oh, that's my top 5. That's my high 5.
Yes,
I talk about that because there's things that I'm into that I was just like, what? I'm just gonna jot them out. I'm just gonna shoot them out. The problem is there's just so many of us and we're all into so many different things that if we talked about every topic, the podcast would be 7 hours long. Yeah. So now we're trying to figure out hey, I'm just gonna don't talk to me about this. Talk about it on the side. Because it also made us really horrible conversationalists with people who weren't on the podcast. Because what was happening was the other people in our group of friends that aren't a part of the podcast would come up to us and be like, "Hey, did you see that new Star Wars trailer? What do you think?" I was like, "Nope, I'm saving it for the podcast." Gold right here in my mouth.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So then they're like, "No, but can you tell me?" And I was like, "No, because then when I repeat it on recording, it sounds rehearsed, and I don't like that. So you're just gonna be a podcast."
Oh my god. Tune in.
But it was just really hard because then if not, when I'm repeating it, I'm like, this doesn't sound as real as the first time I said it. So, but yeah, we did talk a lot about things. We usually use our intro to talk about whatever's happening right then in the moment or whatever links happen, and then we'll get into some other stuff. So like we record tomorrow, we have our intro, whatever links or whatever rumors are going on right now, and then we'll go into whatever our theme is or whatever our segments for tomorrow's episode will be.
So Talking Geek.
Yes.
What is the geekiest thing you've ever done?
Cool. The geekiest thing I've ever done was play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm sorry, play World of Warcraft. And not just play World of Warcraft. No, it's not that bad. But did you see that South Park episode?
Yes.
Where they're making fun of World of Warcraft because they're all in a room. They're in Cartman's house. They're all in a room, and it's all of them in desks, not facing each other, all playing the same game together. To the point that Cartman's wearing diapers and his mom is changing him.
Yes.
That was me and a group of my guy friends. This is when Vanessa and I first started dating, and I would be like, "Hey, why don't you come over? We're gonna be playing World of Warcraft, and just come over." And she was like, "Why do I want to sit in the back of your head for 4 hours?" I was like,
Oh my goodness.
"You're right, don't come over. We're just gonna keep playing." And I mean, we would play. I would get out of work at 5, and we would play until like 5 in the morning, and I'd go home and wake up. Yeah, not cool.
How long did it last?
Until Vanessa decided I wasn't allowed to play anymore. When she found out that I had to pay monthly for that game, and then I even had my own server for my own headphones so that everybody can talk to each other. And I had gotten.
You were like invested.
I was so invested, and then she wasn't understanding. I'll never forget one night she was. "I love you, babe. I love you so hardcore."
You are understanding.
You were like such a trooper. But one day I was playing and I was in the middle of a quest. And if you haven't played World of Warcraft, the quest can take hours, especially if I have no mount. That I have to walk everywhere and mine things. That's what was happening. I was in a really long quest. And she came into the room and she was just like trying to plan like a romantic night. And I was like, yeah. Let me just finish this quest. 2 hours later, she comes back. She was like, "Are you done?" And I was like, "I'm still on this quest. Hello." She was like, "You can't pause that game." I was like, "No, I can't pause this." And she went to bed. And I had no romantic night. And that was when I was like, okay, maybe I took this too far. I'm not going to play anymore. So I still have somewhere a level 80 paladin.
Oh my god.
For the Horde. I'm really excited about the movie that's coming out.
Yes, yes.
The trailer comes out in 4 days.
Yes, I know. There's a countdown to the trailer.
Yeah,
I love
yeah. Well, because
that.
they've been in the making of this movie for a really
ages.
long time, and now it's coming. It's coming. I promise I won't play. I promise. I promise I won't play
You
it
just said
again.
it.
Now I play Dungeons and Dragons. She hates that, but I get to play it. So.
Oh, she does. Does
Yeah.
she play with that?
No, she doesn't play Dungeons and Dragons. I've tried. I even tried to get her into WoW when I first started playing. I go, look, it's kind of like playing Zelda. She loves Zelda.
Yeah.
She's a Zelda fanatic. So I was like, it's kind of like playing Zelda. You're like slashing things, and you're doing like cool magic things.
Not the same.
Not the same. She was like, spacebar. She's like, no, this is not the same thing. I was like, okay. And Dungeons and Dragons, she doesn't want. She's like, I should not be doing math when I'm having fun. So.
Oh.
That's her take on it. And it took us a while. It took me a while too to kind of get into the mathematical parts of Dungeons and Dragons. But now it was harder than it wasn't because I had already been playing WoW. So I was like, oh, it's kind of like what the computer does for me.
Yeah.
Now I can do it.
Now you
Now I
can
can
do it.
Okay.
Oh, please.
So yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. She doesn't do any like her geek begins and ends with Zelda.
Yeah.
That's all right
cute.
though. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
She was Link for
She
Halloween.
was linked for Halloween. She was indeed.
In our show, we
Yes.
open subscription boxes.
That's right.
Well, we open a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, you guys are like, your subscriptions are intense. I can't keep up with all of them. You opened up one the other day, and I was like, I never even heard of that one.
Oh,
I
which
feel like
one?
I'm
The
missing.
owl?
Yes.
How great. That was a good one.
I'm not even gonna. I have so many books in my
No,
I can't even get into that.
Do you get any subscription boxes?
Yes, I do. Actually, I am subscribed to Loot Crate and Nerdwalk. Those are the two. I used to be subscribed to Comic Bento as well. I had to stop one of them. I chose that one because I go to my local comic.
Sacrificed it to the.
Well, because I go to my local comic
Yeah.
book shop
Yeah.
enough that I don't really need to go out and buy that. So I stuck with Loot Crate and Nerdwalk. And each month I say I'm going to cancel one, and then they come out with something epic, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to hold on to it a little bit longer. But Nerdwalk I'm coming for you. Maybe. But yeah, those are the two. Those are the two that I use right now.
Really, really important question. Where do you see Vibes in 2020?
2020, that would be
5
5 years from now. Hopefully in another location. I don't want to go too big. I like our underground feel, but I'd like to sit a good 100, 150 people in a space, and more than one location. Our idea was always, and the reason we called it Artistic Vibes Miami was because we always assumed that we would have an Artistic Vibes Orlando or an Artistic Vibes Fort Myers. Kind of going to cities that also don't have a very big art scene. So in 5 years though, I think we'll have a bigger space. I think we'll be out of the place that we're at now, which is bittersweet to say goodbye to the very first venue we had. But I think we're starting to outgrow ourselves there. We're starting
Yes, because
to,
your open nights,
we're not always like that.
they get packed. You
Yeah.
get sold out.
Yeah, we get sold out on a Thursday night, which is
And then you have people
fantastic.
hanging outside still trying to get in.
Trying to get in. There was been like 3 or 4 nights that there was a waiting list outside.
Wow.
People didn't want to get up to get food because they didn't want to lose
They
their
didn't wanna lose
seats.
their seats.
So I think in 5 years it'll be that, and it'll be just broadening our own creative. Our goal for next year, for example, is to write and produce our own play
Ooh.
I love that idea.
and be in it and direct it.
Because
and
you
do
guys
the
have
set.
had more or less.
We've had some. We've had other theater companies who have come and used our space. Like I said, we're very big about opening up the community, so we try to give them prices that they can afford, understanding that they're a low income, low budget production. So we've done that. We play so much in our comedy shows and our half times where we've done skits. We've done the Addams Family Values play.
You did Rocky Horror.
We did Rocky Horror and we acted out. So, it's kind of always been in the back of our heads. And so when we had our annual team meeting, it was next year we're going to either write and produce or like produce one and write another and work it out. So we're playing with some scripts that have already been written that we think will work in our space. We also think about what works in our space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a huge stage or anything like that, so to speak. Very small cast that we can do. But Danny's going to be doing this one-man show in December, so that's
Oh,
kind of
nice.
starting there, and he wrote that one. I'll be his stage man for that, and that's will be directing him. So that'll be something that kicks off in December to kind of just push us forward when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's our goal, is be a bigger theater. Keep spreading the
Beautiful,
vibes.
beautiful. We're going to hit you with 10 questions.
Let's
Rapid
go.
fire.
Rapid fire.
You
Are
ready?
you ready? Ready?
Okay,
You
hold
want me
on.
to start, Waji?
No.
No?
Oh boy, alright.
Emily? Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
What's your favorite comic book movie?
Come Iron Man.
Last toy you bought.
I just bought Funko.
Which one?
I just bought Katniss Everdeen
How do you take your coffee?
with a lot of sugar and cream.
Have you ever been in handcuffs?
Yes.
Justice for fun.
Both.
Who was your favorite poet?
Narciso Larimita.
Oh, local.
Yeah, gotta go local. all the time.
Awesome.
What's the last book or comic book you read?
Last book that I read was Harry Potter, all of them, because I had never actually read them. And the last comic book that I read was Spider-Gwen.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
R2-D2.
Oh.
Yeah. Who's your dream performer at Vibes?
My dream performer, that they haven't performed there,
Yeah.
that I want them to
Love
come,
have.
that I would love to have them there. Oh my god. Really?
What about Crazy Legs? Johnny Crazy Legs? John Leguizamo? Nobody.
Oh my god, John Leguizamo would be amazing. I know, but Kevin Hart.
Ooh,
Kevin Hart.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kevin Hart.
Pet peeve.
Being interrupted.
Stand it. Get interrupted.
Good to know.
Hold your place.
Good to know at the end of the interview.
Yeah, for real. Sorry.
My wife calls them interjections.
Alright, last one.
Yes.
If you were a comic book character, would you be a superhero or a supervillain?
I would probably be a superhero. But I would probably be like a superhero like Iron Man, where he's still kind of a dick,
Yeah.
but he does good
Kinda
things.
decent.
He's got like, yeah, I would definitely be like an Iron Man
You
superhero.
can put up with him because of the greater good.
Right. Yeah, like you deal with my shit because I'm cool at the end of the night. You know,
That's so funny.
like a daredevil. He's kind of
Yeah.
a jerk sometimes, you know? That
Did you see
would
that
be.
Ryan Reynolds was?
Oh my god, that was
That's cool.
amazing. That was
I love it.
amazing.
I love
That was
it.
so
You
cool.
should have come trick or treating in our movie.
I wish you would have.
God,
I wish you would have.
Great.
That was awesome.
Beautiful.
There was a lot of really good costumes. I saw this
Yeah.
one picture. I have to save it on my phone. Somebody dressed up their kid as the driver of the night bus from Harry Potter, and they turned in that yellow roof wagon
No.
thing
Wow.
into a night bus. It was awesome.
God,
That is cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really
What is up with this bag?
Okay, I brought gifts. You guys, our toys and coffee.
We're
So
so excited.
I brought two things for you guys. One, I brought for you my favorite comic book of recent, so that you guys can read it, and this is your own copy. But it is
Really?
Superior Iron Man.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I've only talked about this so much. It's a very short run, so I got you guys both issue 1.
Oh my God.
If you love how big of an egotistical jerk Iron Man is, this is the superior version.
Yes,
of
I'm
that.
so excited.
So this is for you guys to read.
Yay.
Just so you can kind of get a taste of what kind of comic books I like. And since you guys like unboxing things,
Why you brought unboxing stuff?
I bought toys. And since you guys are Star Wars fans, these are new. It is Micro Machine Star Wars, and I guess you're supposed to get some sort of like X-Wing or Millennium Falcon, one of the ships, and it's the very first series of this. They just came out at Walgreens. So I grabbed 3 that from my childish ways of getting the bags. I thought were different.
Oh,
We'll find out.
Feel.
Yes. Oh no.
Maggie also has a little trick, depending on what is it?
That's for Legos. They
Oh.
have little bump
I collect the
codes.
Legos too.
They're like, okay, so they have little bump codes.
Yeah.
They're like little bumps.
Yes.
And if you have like a box that's just been opened,
Right.
they all have different bump codes.
So it'll let you know if you're
Oh,
gonna
you
get
got the
double.
same.
Yeah.
Oh
It
man.
gets screwed up if you've got mixed boxes. Then-
Right.
But
Well.
if it's a nicely fresh box, yeah.
That's good to know.
I
Because I
love
collect
that.
those too. All right. So are we opening them?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Alright,
One,
let's
two,
see.
three.
Let's see what's in here.
We got twinsies.
Oh, you did? Anyways! And I get.
Oh, yours. There you go.
I get this one. Okay, now I'm not a Star Wars person. What is
That's a
this?
speeder, right?
Is that from the pod
That's a
racing?
little ship.
That's the one from the
Yes,
beginning,
yes.
right? From A New Hope, when he rides this to go find
No,
Obi-Wan.
because the one with the
He's got his thingies.
Ah.
He's got the thingies.
what do you call those? The
I'm trying to blend to the hut. The caffeine is hitting me now.
Oh my god, I
And then
love
sugar.
that.
But I think this is actually, this might be, yeah,
It
that's
looks
a
like Luke,
speeder.
right?
Yeah, it's super, actually, yeah, it's cute. Oh my god, there's a person in it. There's a little rocket with a helmet.
And these are.
Look at these.
These are from Darth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm sorry, I'm new to Star Wars. Start
You
watching.
new to Star Wars?
Yes, I just watched for the very first time.
Oh.
I messed up. Okay, I saw I messed up. I was never into Star Wars.
I'm judging you.
I know you are judging me.
I'm
more of a fantasy person. Like I like elves and wizards and witches.
Wow,
and
yes, Dungeons and Dragons.
yes,
and
and World of Warcraft. So that was always what I grew up with. So sci-fi, I loved space, like stars and planets, but all of that sci-fi stuff, I was never into any of that. So I had an ex who loved it. Like had a big Lego Yoda and a big Lego R2-D2 and all of that. And so the first Star Wars I ever saw was Episode 3.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I messed up. I knew the whole story without watching anything else.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like crazy for me. And because I wasn't such a Star Wars fan, I didn't hate the movies. Like most Star Wars.
Yeah,
I was like,
most people were like,
cool.
"Ugh."
Yeah, everybody hated it. And I'm like, wasn't so attached to have that strong of an opinion. But Vanessa and all of my friends love Star Wars, and every time we record Talking Geek and they talk about it, I'm like, oh. And so finally, now with everything that's been going on with The Force Awakening coming around, Target had a sale, so I bought the first 3, 4, 5, and 6 on Blu-ray to give it to Vanessa, and she was like, okay, let's watch them. I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch them with you. So I'm still in the middle of Return of the Jedi. I did A New Hope, I did The Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back kills The New Hope. I'm sorry, sequel is better than the original by far.
Absolutely.
It's just more entertaining, there's just more stuff going on. While I love R2, he's a heat up. I said this on the podcast. He's beep bopping everywhere while people are trying to like run up on Vader. That's not cool. Things like that. I attribute a lot of Star Wars to Harry Potter. A lot of similarities in their storylines, and at least I thought so. And I had just finished reading the book, so I'm getting into it. I don't hate it. Yes, I don't hate it. R2, I like just because I like his attitude.
Yeah.
I like that you could tell what he is he reminds me of like a modern Wally, like what Wally is, that you can already tell what kind of emotion he's going just by what he's saying.
And not even facial expressions.
Not even facial expressions, because with Wally you got facial expressions. With him you just get, and the fact that he's like walking away from you. They're like, hey, I'm talking to you. And you just keep going. Yes. So, yeah, no problem.
You were actually our first guest on Pleasure Coffee Evening.
Oh.
So thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. This
How
was
can
really
we
fun.
find you, Quills?
Okay, you can find me on Twitter or on Instagram at Q the Mic. Very simple. And you can look me up on Facebook at Quills Rodriguez, and obviously Talking Geek. We're on everything. Instagram, Tumblr, we have a blog. I complain and bitch about things like toys. And iTunes. We're also on Podomatic. We're also on Stitcher. We're at 31 episodes right now, so pick one you like. Go back to the beginning or catch it from the end. Start with the first one, so you kind of get to know our crazy attitudes and personalities before you keep going. And or find me at Vibes if you're local. If you're from Miami, come and check us out on Thursday night. It is by Pinecrest. So we're by the Falls Mall, behind an Outback, Warehouse District. So very artsy-fartsy in that sense. So don't feel like it's shady. It looks shady on the outside, warm and inviting on the inside.
Yeah, you will be confused the first time you're gonna go and you're like, is that where?
Yeah, you're like, this is like some Craigslist
Where
shit
am
that's
I?
not supposed to happen.
And you have a really cozy spot because you have sofas, you have lounges.
Well, the whole point was to feel like our motto is the home for local artists. So we wanted it to feel homey. We wanted you to go into our bathroom and feel homey. You know, like so homey that artists keep their gel in our medicine cabinet. I think they took it too far.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No, I've seen gels there. They've called me and said, hey, I left my toothbrush in your bathroom. I'm like, what are you doing with your toothbrush?
They have to be prepared if you're open.
I come up from eating. I was like, you guys, I'm throwing all that away. But yeah, so it's very cozy, very comfortable. All of our shows have a different vibe. Our poetry night is very inspiring and very moving and very positive. Our laugh attacks are rambunctious and crazy and a spectacle, if you will. And Vibes has its own thing too. So just come and check out the show. Figure out your vibe.
Before we go, you came with some awesome gifts, and we appreciate it, and you're amazing for it. So we have a couple of things for you to take back with you.
Yay!
For your people.
Stickers.
Our stickers.
I love stickers.
And our toys and coffee.
And pins.
Oh, you guys got pins.
Yeah.
That's right.
Support these ladies.
Yeah.
Damn.
There you go.
There you
Check
go.
out Vibes if you're local.
Yes.
Check out the podcast if you're local or
Not
somewhere else.
local.
Not local. Follow everybody on Instagram. You can also check us out on YouTube. Subscribe.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and www.toysandcoffee.com.
There you go.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.